JPI Review, print speaking to the blind, celebrating 40 years of audio newspaper production. Welcome to this week's edition of the Kirkintilloch Herald podcast, recorded at the Bishopbriggs Media Centre by our amazing volunteers. You can get in touch with us via Facebook, Twitter or Instagram using @QAndReview. That is @CUEANDREVIEW. You can also contact us directly by emailing information@QAndReview.com. That is INFORMATION @CUEANDREVIEW.com, or by calling 0141 772 3976. That's 0141 772 3976.
This week's podcast, date Wednesday the 6th of June 2024, is read to you by volunteers Alan, Corey, Ian and Philip. Ready to go to the polls. Voters will go to the polls in little over 4 weeks' time to elect members of the Westminster Parliament. The countdown to the UK parliamentary general election officially began last Friday at 5 p.m. when the returning officer for the constituency of Mid Dumbartonshire County published the notice of election as did returning officers across the country. Potential candidates looking to be elected on Thursday, July the 4th can now request nomination packs by emailing election@eastdumbarton.gov.uk. Nominations could be submitted from Monday, June the 3rd until this Friday, June the 7th, between 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. at the Council's headquarters, 12 Strathkelvin Place, Kirkintilloch. This is by appointment only, and those looking to submit nominations should call 0771 69 1011. That's 07771 69 1011. The full list of candidates who will appear on the ballot paper should be available later on June the 7th, once all have been received. Voters have been reminded that there are changes to voting for this election. All residents in East Dumbartonshire who are eligible to and want to vote must know the following. If you are not registered to vote, you must do so before Tuesday, June the 18th. If you are unable to vote in person, you can apply for a postal vote. The deadline to apply for this is 5 p.m. on Wednesday, June the 19th. Anyone who is unable to vote in person and who would rather vote by proxy should note that the deadline to apply for this is also 5 p.m. on Wednesday, June the 19th. Everyone who wants to vote must take photo ID to the polling station with them. If, after you've checked what forms of ID are acceptable, you need to apply for an alternative form of ID, you must do this by 5 p.m. on Wednesday, June the 26th. Acceptable forms of ID include a passport, driving licence and a bus pass. To check the full list of what forms of ID are acceptable, visit the Council Parliamentary General Election webpage. Polling stations across the country will be open from 7 a.m. until 10 p.m. on July the 4th, with the counting of ballot papers taking place just after the polls close. And the article was read by me, Ian McKenna. This week in history. June the 8th, 1968, James L. Ray, wanted for the murder of Martin Luther King, was arrested in London, travelling under an assumed name with a Canadian passport. On this day last year, Scotland Yard apologised to the LGBTQ+ community for past failings in what campaigners hailed as a historic first. They hoped other police forces around the UK would follow. June the 9th, 1959, America launched the first ballistic missile submarine, the George Washington. On this day last year, Boris Johnson announced he was standing down immediately as Conservative MP after an investigation into the Partygate scandal found he had misled Parliament. June the 10th, 1943, ballpoint pens, devised by Hungarian Laszlo Biro, were patented in the United States. June 11th, 1952, Dennis Compton hits its 100th century. On this day last year, a South Florida professor known as Dr. Deep Sea resurfaced after spending 100 days living in an underwater lodge to study the medical effects. June the 12th, 1989, MPs voted 293 to 69 to allow television cameras into the House of Commons. On this day last year, AI could represent the most substantial policy challenge ever faced by the UK, a report co-authored by Tony Blair and William Hague suggested. Opera in town. Lovers of music will be able to enjoy 2 short performances from the Scottish Opera in the heart of Bishopbriggs. The audience will be treated to a 30-minute performance where they can experience all the drama and wonder of opera on a miniature scale to suit all ages. Both a little bit of Franz Lehar's The Merry Widow and a similar half-hour performance of Mozart's Don Giovanni will be sung in English for everyone to enjoy. The shows take place on Saturday, June 15th in the War Memorial Hall in Balmouldy Road at 1pm and 3pm. Tickets cost £7 and can be booked online. The event is part of Scottish Opera's popular pop-up tour, which sees them travel the length of Scotland bringing music and song to communities.
Warning of council strikes. Council workers will be balloted for industrial action in coming weeks, which could leave rubbish piled up in streets. Unite, Scotland's largest union, has announced that it has served industrial action notices to 29 councils, including East Dunbartonshire, in an escalating pay dispute. The trade union confirmed that it will ballot thousands of its members in cleaning and waste services from June 5th until July 1st, when the ballots close. If the ballots for industrial action are successful, Unite revealed that strike action could begin from July. Unite General Secretary Sharon Graham said, "Our members undertake vital frontline jobs. Despite the essential work they do, they have seen their pay eroded for years. They are simply no longer prepared to tolerate this situation. COSLA and the Scottish Government have been warned that they must do far more to meet the pay aspirations of our members. The blame for any strike action taking place will lie at their doors." On May 24th, Unite confirmed that its local government representatives had rejected outright a formal pay offer from the Convention of Scottish Local Authorities, COSLA. The offer comprises 2.2% effective from April 1st to September 30th, and then 2% for a 12-month period effective from October 1st, 2024 to September 30th, 2025. Unite rejected the offer and the proposal to change the pay anniversary date from April to October on the basis that it is nothing but an attempt to kick the can down the road. Read by Alan Todd.
Strength in early years education. A report has emphasised the good practice regarding early years education at East Dunbartonshire Council while also identifying areas for future improvement. Published following a collaborative project involving the Association of Education Directors Scotland, Education Scotland and council officers, the report emphasised a list of strengths while also identifying areas for further improvement and development. The collaboration was triggered by a drop in attainment for some Primary 1 children and sought to deliver improvements. Strengths highlighted in the report included the skill and commitment of the workforce, quality of leadership and range of teaching methods, including the use of digital technology, backed up by centralised support. Nursery teachers were praised extensively, with an emphasis on their common role as literacy champions and the effectiveness of their networking. Parent engagement was said to be well supported through various means, ranging from informal communication and newsletters to curriculum evenings and displays, while a number of literacy projects also promoted family learnings. It was recommended that staff be given more flexible access to training, increased understanding of transition, and more consistent methods of tracking progress to identify gaps, such as those resulting from poverty. The report was welcomed by the Council's Education Committee at a recent meeting, and members also approved a series of future actions to address the points raised.
weekend fun days. The countdown is on to this year's Kirkintilloch Gala Day. It takes place this Saturday, June 8th, with all the fun from 1pm to 4pm in Woodhead Park. The event begins with a parade along Main Street, which begins at 12:30pm. There will be fun for all the family throughout the afternoon. Entertainment will include Rosebank dancers, wrestling, flight simulator, live music, owl magic and dog agility. There will also be lots of stalls as well as the fun fair. On the same day, Bearsden and Mulgai Highland Games will take place at the West of Scotland Football Club around in Glasgow Road, Mulgai. This year's chieftain is Leanne Maiden, who single-handedly completed a 3,000-mile charity row across the Atlantic.
Ewan hits right note with judges. A 17-year-old saxophonist from Eastern Bartonshire has been named Scottish Young Musician Solo Performer of the Year 2024. Ewan Kemp, an S6 pupil from the music school of Douglas Academy, has been playing saxophone since he was 11 years old. He has received £1,000 to spend on furthering his musical career and the Maid of Morven Trophy. Ewan said, "I feel amazing having won this competition and honoured to have represented Eastern Bartonshire and Douglas Academy. I've been making music in Eastern Bartonshire for the whole of my musical career, starting with the children's chorus in P2 and then growing through and playing in orchestras and ensembles." Carers in Spotlight. Carers of all ages are being urged to ask for help when they need it most. Carers Week 2024, putting carers on the map, runs from June the 10th to 16th, and Carers Link Eastern Bartonshire is urging anyone that is helping to look after a family member or a friend to take the first step and get in touch to ask for help. Carers Link is local and dedicated to providing a range of support services to young and adult carers of all ages who live or care within the area. In the last year alone, it has had almost 100 new referrals of young carers in need of support. Working closely with Eastern Bartonshire schools, the charity offers invaluable help to those aged from 8 to 25, including emotional support, well-being, information and advocacy, holiday breaks and activities. Carers Week is an annual campaign to raise awareness of caring, highlighting the challenges unpaid carers face and recognise the contribution they make to families and communities throughout the UK. It also helps people who do not think of themselves as having caring responsibilities to identify as carers and access much needed support. Now in its 20th year, Carers Link is supporting around 1,500 carers in the local community each year and provides an array of crucial services, ranging from information and practical support to one-to-one support and carer support groups. To celebrate Carers Week, there will be 2 coffee mornings hosted by Carers Link on Monday, June the 10th from 10:30am to 12:30pm in the Broadcroft Hotel, Kirkintilloch, and on Thursday, June the 13th from 10:30am to 12:30pm in the Fraser Centre, Mulgai. Jennifer Rowe, Chief Executive Officer of Carers Link Eastern Bartonshire, said, "During Carers Week, we will be supporting the theme Putting Carers on the Map by urging everyone, whether they are family or friends, to help those in a caring role to recognise that they are a carer. People tend to think they are doing what they would normally do to help a loved one, and they are, but there is help available to them to do that, and Carers Link can support them to get that help. Each month, we run 9 free wellbeing groups, from carers cafes to online Drew yoga and a walking group, that offer friendship, understanding and a break from caring. Please email inquiry@carerslink.org.uk, that's ENQUIRY @CARERSLINK.org.uk to find out more on our services.
Work begins on Centre. Work is underway on a base for adventure, learning and community activities for people of all ages. Twecker Outdoor Pursuit Centre will soon start to take shape on a site beside the Forth and Clyde Canal, providing a hub for canoeing, kayaking, cycling and more in Eastern Bartonshire. It will also provide a facility for new educational, training and voluntary opportunities, helping to promote regeneration and address disadvantage in the area. Thanks to external support, including from the Scottish Government's Regeneration Capital Grant Fund and Sport Scotland, East Dunbartonshire Council can take forward its £5.6 million plans. Preparatory works are currently taking place to establish the site, led by main contractor Morgan Sindel, and the project will get fully underway in the coming weeks. Councillor Gordon Lowe, leader of the council, said, "It's great to see people on the site, preparing to turn plans into reality. When it's complete, Twecker Outdoor Pursuit Centre will provide opportunities for a wide range of ages and abilities for residents of the village and East Dunbartonshire. This previously derelict piece of land will become home to an innovative facility with community involvement at its heart. I look forward to seeing it progress in the coming months." Work has taken place with Twecker Community Action TCA, which manages Twecker Healthy Living and Enterprise Centre and has been central to the transformation of Twecker over 2 decades. A marketing exercise was undertaken during the summer of 2021, which concluded with TCA being identified as the proposed tenant. TCA Company Secretary Sandra Sutton said, "We're delighted to see activity on site, the culmination of many years of work and determination. Beginning initially with our own Twecker youth group, exciting times are ahead." The project was granted planning approval in March and is part of the Council's capital programme for 2024-2025. The development site is owned by the Council and sits adjacent to the Forth and Clyde Canal, just off Main Street, at the northern entrance to Twecker.
Join in Kirkintilloch 10K. Athletes of all abilities are under starters orders for this year's Kirkintilloch 10K. The race takes place on Saturday, June the 13th, and there is still time to enter. Held largely on a flat course along the side of the Forth and Clyde Canal, it begins at North Bank Avenue and proceeds to Townhead Bridge, joining the canal towpath. The route is along the towpath to Catter Bridge, 5k mark, before leaving the towpath to complete a loop on pavements to return to the towpath at Hungerside Bridge. The finish is behind St Ninians High School. Registration and number pick-up is from 6:30pm at St Ninians High School, Kirkintilloch. Registration closes 10 minutes before the start of the race at 7:30pm. There are spaces for 350 runners, so don't miss out if you want to take part. There is a 2k junior race being held at 6:30pm on the same evening, with registration at Lairland Primary School and the run being held on a flat, marshalled course. Entry on the night.
Kirky players delight in final centenary show. As the Kirkintilloch players came to the end of their centenary year, it was time to search for a suitable play for their final adult production of the year. Audiences had already been treated to the broad comedy of The Vicar of Dibley, a joyful musical review and music from the movies, and the classic pantomime Cinderella, with all the hilarity, sparkle and magic you would expect from arguably the best pantomime there is. Not to mention the festival teams who entertained audiences from netting, based on the true life story of a fishing trawler disaster in the north of Scotland, and the talented youth team who, at the time of writing, are preparing to represent the west of Scotland at the SCDA Scottish Youth Final with their thought-provoking play, Girls Like That. The Kirkintilloch players pride themselves on staging a wide variety of productions in different styles and genres to appeal to the wider community, and so it was a real challenge to find a worthy play for this most special of years for the club. Lorna Campbell, who was also club president at the time, stepped up to the challenge and said, after much deliberation, the play Dancing at Lochna by Brian Friel was chosen. Although perhaps not widely known, the Olivia Award-winning play is considered a modern classic and was recently staged by the National Theatre. Loosely based on Brian Friel's own life, the play is set at harvest time 1936 in the fictional village of Ballybeg, County Donegal. The play is centred round the 5 Mundy sisters who battle poverty to raise 7-year-old Michael and care for their brother, Jack. They are visited by Michael's father, Jerry Evans, and we see their lives unfold as they deal with a world on the brink of change. The play itself brought many challenges, among which were the acquisition of realistic and consistent Donegal accents, as well as a set design that would fit in the players' tiny theatre. The aim was to bring to life a family home in 1930s Donegal, which meant sourcing a selection of props appropriate to the time on a scale the club rarely attempts. Luckily, the club is blessed with hard-working and talented individuals who worked tirelessly to bring this challenging play to life. After months of rehearsal and numerous challenges, the turret doors opened on May 13th for opening night. Cast and crew were thrilled with the responses they received over the week. Indeed, there was even the occasional standing ovation. Like a professional performance, absolutely fabulous, completely lost myself in that kitchen, catch it while you can. Outstanding, superb performance, and I shed a tear were just some of the accolades given to the production. Several audience members admitted to never having visited the Turret Theatre before, but were adamant this would not be their last visit. The final bows came on the Saturday evening of the production, and despite the challenges, all involved with the production felt that a worthy centenary play had most certainly been staged. In the words of one club member, it is a play that will be remembered for a long time. Get moving for rewards. People are being encouraged to get on the move and enjoy rewards as they go. A free app is being launched in Eastern Bartonshire which aims to get people walking, wheeling, cycling, running and using public transport. The council has teamed up with Better Points to encourage local motion, helping to promote health and well-being, active travel and efforts to tackle climate change. The app, which is already used by a number of local authorities across the UK, allows participants to earn points that can be spent at participating local businesses, redeemed for vouchers at major retailers and hospitality venues, or donated to charity. For residents, signing up is easy. Download the Better Points app for free to a smartphone or tablet from your app store and register with a local postcode to join the challenge. Journeys are then detected through the app, so once a user starts moving, activity is automatically recorded. Wherever you walk, wheel, run, cycle or ride on public transport in Eastern Bartonshire, you can earn Better Points. You can get bonus points if you travel sustainably into Bearsden, Bishopbriggs, Kirkintilloch or Mulgai town centres. Everyone who joins Better Points Eastern Bartonshire and completes the Get Started survey before this Sunday, June the 9th, will be entered into a local draw for a £20 Scotland Loves Local Eastern Bartonshire gift card. For businesses and service providers, signing up is also easy, and there's no cost. Reward vouchers are paid for by Better Points. Get in touch via the website. Councillor Pamela Marshall, Vice Convener of Eastern Bartonshire Council's Place, Neighbourhood and Corporate Assets Committee said, "I'm delighted that the Better Points app is now available in Eastern Bartonshire. It's an innovative way to encourage people to get active, improving their health and well-being while reducing carbon emissions. We're lucky that our area offers so many wonderful walking and cycling routes. If you live outside the area but work in Eastern Bartonshire, you can sign up for the local challenge using a code. Simply email customercare@betterpoints.uk for more information."
Befrienders still needed. People who can spare some time to spend with others are urgently needed. Eastern Bartonshire Befriending Service is delighted to have made so many successful matches in recent months, saying it was wonderful news. However, there are many more people across Eastern Bartonshire who are suffering from loneliness and social isolation who are in urgent need of a befriender. The skills needed to be a befriender are ones which many have. If you like chatting to people, are a good listener, compassionate and could spare 1 or 2 hours every week or even fortnight, then you would be an ideal candidate. The Befriending Service, which is supported by Eastern Bartonshire Council and a number of voluntary organisations across the area, invites people thinking about volunteering to get in touch for an informal chat to learn more about what is involved. You can call 0141 345 0432 or email info@edbs.org.uk. That's info@edbs.org.uk, For more information. An army of volunteers. Sign up for the Big Help Out. People across Scotland are being encouraged to lend a hand to a worthy cause this month as part of the Big Help Out. Launched for the first time last year, the Big Help Out is a UK-wide volunteering campaign aimed at encouraging people to give their time to charities and voluntary organisations, especially if they have never volunteered before or if they have had a long break from volunteering. This year, aligning with Volunteers Week, it runs from Friday, June the 7th to Sunday, June the 9th. Last year, the campaign mobilised more than 7 million people across the UK and it hopes to get millions more to help out this year. To help promote the campaign, Loose Women anchor Kay Adams visited the Beatson Cancer Charity last week, spending a morning volunteering with the Beatson Cafe at the West of Scotland Cancer Centre. Kay is a long-standing Beatson ambassador and an advocate for the charity's mission that no one should face cancer alone. She said, "Volunteers are the absolute lifeblood of charities. They're such a vital part of the whole operation. It's so easy to get involved with the Big Help Out. There's an app, but probably the best thing to do is to go online and search for the Big Help Out. There are a wealth of opportunities there to find something that really suits you." Hundreds of organisations are expected to take part across Scotland, including the Scottish branches of some of the UK's best loved charities. Children's Hospice across Scotland, CHAS, the NSPCC, Royal Voluntary Service, Scouts, Sea Cadets, and Chest, Heart and Stroke Scotland are just some of the charities recruiting volunteers. As well as well-known organisations, many local and smaller groups will also be using the Big Help Out to attract volunteers, like Borders Pet Rescue. This animal rescue centre will be recruiting volunteers to help tidy up and improve their 10-acre site used to exercise rescue dogs, creating pockets of enrichment for the animals to enhance their experience at the centre and improve local biodiversity. Readers can find opportunities by using the official Big Help Out app, available on smartphone or web, or by visiting www.volunteerscotland.net or www.thebighelpout.org.uk. Alan Stevenson, Volunteer Scotland CEO, said, "This year, we're thrilled to celebrate the 40th anniversary of Volunteers Week. This long-standing campaign is a fantastic opportunity to recognise volunteers' vital contributions across every community in the UK. For the first time, we're excited to help the Big Help Out campaign during this week of celebration, giving anyone a chance to try volunteering for the first time or to test drive a different type of volunteering. We know this 3D event will inspire and make a difference. We encourage everyone to get involved." Working together. The Big Help Out is organised by the Together Coalition. The coalition of organisations aims to build a kinder, closer and more connected communities by bringing people together and bridging divides. Thanks to the National Lottery players, the coalition has received £1 million over the 3 years, the National Lottery Community Fund, the largest funder of community activity in the UK. The Big Help Out has been backed by 30 well-known volunteering charities, including Age UK, Barnardo's, British Red Cross, Cats Protection, Citizens Advice, Cruise Bereavement Support, Girl Guiding, Guide Dogs and the NSPCC. Escalating skin cancer cases are a big concern. The number of Scots diagnosed with melanoma skin cancer has increased by almost a tenth over the past decade, with a projected record high of around 1,800 cases this year in Scotland. New analysis from Cancer Research UK found that around 1,300 melanoma cases in Scotland every year are preventable, with around 8 in 10 caused by too much ultraviolet radiation. As warmer weather approaches, these figures demonstrate the importance of people taking precautions to protect their skin. The biggest rise in melanoma rates has occurred in adults aged 70 to 79 in Scotland, with an increase in incidence of over 32% over the past decade. However, rates of skin cancer in those between the ages of 25 and 49 are falling, with a 16% decrease in the last 10 years. Experts suggest that young people today are more aware of the link between UV and skin cancer risk than older generations. This could mean they're more likely to take precautions to stay safe in the sun compared to older groups who know less about the dangers of tanning. A growing and ageing population and improved awareness of the symptoms of skin cancer have also contributed to record numbers being diagnosed. Michelle Mitchell, Cancer Research UK's chief executive, said, "It's concerning to see the number of people being diagnosed with melanoma. The fact that the majority of these cases are preventable underlines the importance of people taking sun safety seriously." Survival from cancers continues to improve, demonstrating the substantial progress made possible by research, but it's vital that people reduce their risk. Make sure to take your care in the sun and contact your GP if you notice any unusual changes to your skin, a new or changing mole, a sore that doesn't heal, or an area of skin that looks out of the ordinary. Spotting cancer early can make all the difference. Early diagnosis and treatment means melanoma survival has doubled in the last 50 years. However, 4 people in Scotland are diagnosed with the most serious form of skin cancer every day, which equates to around 1,400 people per year. More than 9 in 10 Scots are now diagnosed with melanoma will survive the disease for 5 years or more. Royal Highland O! The 2024 Royal Highland Show is set to delight showgoers from June the 20th to 23rd with acres of epicness, promising an unforgettable event in its 202nd year. Organisers have created a buzz around the 2024 event with the launch of a new campaign, the Royal Highland O, highlighting what might be perceived as the more unexpected elements of the show. From mountain biking displays to the interactive and immersive honey marquee, there's something to captivate all ages and interests. David Tennant, head of show for RHASS, said, "The show is renowned for its livestock competitions and parades. However, over the years it's developed so far beyond that, and we are excited to put a spotlight on some of the elements that visitors might not expect to find over the weekend. For more information and tickets, visit www.royalhighlandshow.org. One death on the roads in Scotland is one too many. Provisional figures for road casualties in 2023 showed a drop in the number of people killed on Scotland's roads compared with 2022, but an overall increase in the total number of casualties. Transport Scotland revealed that 155 people were killed in reported road collisions in Scotland in 2023, 16 fewer than in 2022. The figures also show that the total number of casualties rose by 3% between 2022 and 2023, from 5,630 to 5,798, and the number of people seriously injured rose by 9%, from 1,778 to 1,930. Despite the overall drop in fatalities, the number of pedestrian and cyclist fatalities increased compared with 2022. Pedestrian fatalities increased from 34 to 47, and cycling fatalities increased from 2 to 7. Road casualties have increased since 2020 and 2021, when COVID-19 pandemic restrictions led to reduced travel. However, they are still at historically low levels. The number of fatalities in 2023 was the 4th lowest on record, with 2 of the 3 years with lower figures occurring during the pandemic, 2020 and 2021. Compared to 2022, there was a fall in reported casualties of 16% for pedal cyclists. However, there was an increase of 6% in car casualties and an increase of 3% in pedestrian casualties. Cabinet Secretary for Transport, Fiona Hislop, said, "While the drop in the number of fatalities on our roads is welcome, we must never forget that behind every one of these statistics is a person or a household that has been changed forever. One death on our roads is one too many, and my thoughts go out to those who have lost loved ones or who have been injured in road traffic accidents. I do not accept road casualties are inevitable, and it is vital we continue to work to bring overall casualty numbers down. I want to be clear that road safety remains an absolute priority for the Scottish Government, and we continue to work towards our target of Scotland having the best road safety performance in the world by 2030. To underline this commitment, we have put a record £36 million towards road safety in this year's Scottish budget, and will outline how that money will support our efforts throughout the financial year. This will include funding to help councils improve safety on local roads, campaigns to tackle the behaviours identified as causing most harm on our roads, and continued development of learning resources for children and young people. I'm also asking our road safety partners to continue to play their part in helping us to reach these important targets. Their contributions are greatly valued, and only by working together will we be able to achieve our goal. I met many of those partners at Transport Scotland's Road Safety Summit and Road Safety Scotland's annual seminar this year, and made a commitment to work with them to help create a safer Scotland. I remain resolute in my determination to save lives on Scotland's roads and help us work towards our long-term vision of no one being killed or seriously injured on Scotland's roads by 2050. Archive funds will help champion arts. New commissioning opportunities for creatives and curators will soon be available through the Alistair Gray Archive. Established after Gray's death in 2019, the archive serves as both a free-to-access resource of his works and an organisation which promotes the visual and literary arts in Gray's name. It also regularly commissions new creative and curatorial works using Gray's art as a catalyst for artistic response, and seeks to promote educational opportunities and inspire creators through residencies, awards and student placements. Backing from the National Lottery through Creative Scotland's Open Fund will enable two strands of development. Firstly, it will fund a year-long programme of activities, allowing the archive to enhance public engagement through education and outreach, and to offer 3 new commissions in collaboration with organisations like the Edwin Morgan Trust. Secondly, the award will facilitate a period of organisational development. Sorcha Dallas, custodian of the Alistair Gray Archive, said, "The recent open funding secured for the Alistair Gray Archive will be instrumental in enabling us to grow our creative commissions over the next year in ambition and partnership. We will be offering 2 new funded opportunities for creatives and 1 for an early stage curator, alongside a meaningful engagement programme shaped and delivered with the communities. It will also allow us some support to develop our organisational plan for the next 5 years, co-created with our board." The award is one of 53 totalling £1,048,834, made through the latest round of Creative Scotland's Open Fund. Paul Burns, Interim Director of Arts at Creative Scotland, said, "It is incredibly heartening to see the Open Fund supporting projects that offer significant opportunities to artists and audiences throughout Scotland. Organisations like the Alistair Gray Archive inspire us by honouring a great figure while providing educational opportunities and championing the arts in his name. The Open Fund has no deadlines. Eligibility criteria and application guidance can be found on the website at www.creativescotland.com. That's www.creativescotland.com. Take a break. Carers in Scotland raising a disabled child or young person with complex additional needs have until June the 14th to apply for funding for short breaks. The Take a Break Scotland grant scheme has reopened for applications. Grants are worth around £300 on average and can be spent flexibly. Options include a short break away, a break for the carer and the rest of the family while a child is in respite, or money towards the cost of an extra carer when on an outing. Carers can also apply for entrance costs to events, gym membership, drama clubs and more. To be eligible, you must be caring for a disabled child aged up to 20 years old, have lived in Scotland for at least 6 months, be a UK resident, and have a child that is not looked after by the local authority. Apply at www.takeabreak.co.uk. takeabreakscotland.org.uk. That's takeabreakscotland.org.uk. The Kirkintilloch and Bishopbriggs Herald Letters page. Date Wednesday, June the 5th, 2024. Let's talk. Please send your letters via email to kirkyherald@jnscotland.co.uk. That's KIRKYHERALD @JNSCOTLAND.co.uk and write letters in the subject field. Please keep letters to a maximum of 300 words. Letters cannot be published without a name and postal address. Also include a daytime phone number if possible. We reserve the right to edit any letter. Same old Tories. Sir, Rishi's idea of national service or forced voluntary work is no better than the slave labour that Maggie Thatcher introduced for under-18s in the 1980s. What Maggie did was to introduce the Youth Opportunity Scheme, YOP, and Youth Training Scheme, YTS. Working about 40 hours a week for only £20 per week. We were supposed to be trained like an apprenticeship. Because there were kids just out of school keen to impress, and they were taken advantage of. Rishi and Co have just shown that they're the same old Tories and that the leopard doesn't change its spots. Yours, etc., Lionel McMillan, by email. Fashion sheep. Sir, I see the latest fashion trend thrust upon us ladies is that, after some time, maxi skirts are out and it's knee level this summer. It's just the retailers trying to get us to part with their hard-earned cash to boost their profits by ditching existing useful clothes. Back in the 1960s, the arrival of miniskirts meant the textiles industry, like here in the Borders, needed to make far less cloth and added to the decline of the weaving industry. I worked in textiles for over 22 years and know the ploys. Make no mistake, the shorter skirts will be the same price as the longer maxi length ones, but require less material. Please ladies, don't fall for the trap and be what you want to and not a fashion sheep. But will the sheep listen? I doubt it, but I'm not for changing. I have a mind of my own. Yours, etc., Nicola Snowy, by email. Fantasy politics. Sir, it takes just a little scratch to ease the itch in the Labour skin to alert the electorate as to what lies beneath. From the politics of envy and attacking private schools, with an uncosted and impractical policy, to the ridiculous position adopted with Diane Abbott, where she regains the Labour whip but cannot stand for re-election, to Keir Starmer, declaring, "Yes, I describe myself as a socialist and a progressive." The only meaning of such a definition is higher taxes, more state intervention across all aspects of public life, and the Starmer puppet strings being pulled by the unions. The Change Labour Party, as described by Keir Starmer, is nothing but fantasy, and caveat emptor must be front and centre before they secure one's vote. Yours, etc., Richard Allison, by email. Window tax. Sir, it was without a sense of irony that Scottish Labour leader Anna Sarwar said that under a UK government the Scotland office would be Scotland's window onto the world. Talking about promoting international links is all well and good, but this is from a party who are intent on continuing limiting access to our key markets through backing Brexit. It is no understatement to say that Brexit has been disastrous for our businesses and consumers, limiting economic growth and restricting trade. Recent border controls will cost British businesses £2 billion through increased red tape, with the Scottish salmon industry alone suffering an additional £12 million of costs. Last year, almost half of businesses, 44%, named Brexit as the main cause of difficulties trading overseas. Across every sector of Scotland's economy, Brexit has added red tape costs, limited access to vital workers, and limited markets. Labour's ambitions may be to make the Scotland office our window onto the world, but that window is currently half closed due to the devastating impact of Brexit. Yours, etc., Alex Orr, by email. Lack of logic. Sir, the SNP's Kevin Stewart claims new borders checks could cost Scotland £380 million. We are paying the price for a Brexit we didn't vote for, he claims, going on to state that it is time to get out of broken Brexit Britain. As Mr Stewart, we must wonder, worked out how much a separated Scotland will have to pay for new border controls with the UK, the EU and the rest of the world? Should his party's raison d'etre and dream of breaking up the UK ever come to fruition? Do the SNP ever think things through? I mean past the headline they seek or the chance to use the latest catchphrase. The alarming lack of ability to reason is another cause for the demise of the SNP and what looks like the upcoming Armageddon of a general election. Mr Stewart looks like being among the many mass nationalists who will be receiving their P45s in the morning of July the 5th. Yours, etc., Alexander Mackay, by email. And that was this week's Let's Talk Letters page, date Wednesday, June the 5th.
Festival toasts our new Scots. The programme for Refugee Festival has just been launched, with an exciting lineup of over 130 events all over Scotland. Sharing the stories of people and communities who have settled in Scotland, the festival runs from June 14th to June 23rd and is the biggest yet. It includes contributions from artists and performers who come to Scotland seeking refugee protection, along with the communities that have welcomed them. In a year of terrible conflicts that has seen millions of people around the world forced from their homes, the festival brings together people from different backgrounds in friendship and solidarity. Its theme this year is Rise, to honour the resilience of people who are rebuilding their lives in Scotland. Monica Lyeska, Refugee Festival Scotland manager, said, "Packed with unique events and exceptional talent, the festival honours the resilience and courage of new Scots and celebrates a vision for a Scotland where everyone can blossom and has equal opportunity to thrive. At a particularly dire time for refugees and asylum seekers living in our communities, our festival puts forward an empowering message of welcome and makes visible the support that is overwhelmingly present and active across Scottish society. And there's something for everyone to enjoy, from music and dance to DJs and drag queens, food and drink to football tournaments and family-friendly picnics." Sapir Zazai, Scottish Refugee Council Chief Executive, said, "The last year has been incredibly tough for people in the refugee community. It's important to make time for moments of joy, to connect with one another and revel in not only what we have in common, but also what makes us all unique. The festival is an opportunity to come together and share stories, celebrate each other's culture, and learn more about our new neighbours. Together, we can rise above the hostile environment and find strength in our communities." Refugee Festival Scotland is produced by Scottish Refugee Council. Full programme details are online at www.refugeefestivalscotland.co.uk.
Service cut and green light for criminals. Plans to cut an emergency response service would be a green light to criminals, according to Unison, which is demanding urgent action to halt the proposals. Scotland's largest union has lambasted the Scottish Environmental Protection Agency, SEPA, for keeping it in the dark over its plans, which could include the complete closure of the 24-hour service which deals with emergency environmental calls from the public. The service helps members of the public with concerns over pollution, flooding, fly tipping and other environmental issues. Zia Hussain, Unison's SEPA branch secretary, said, "Any decision to scale back or close this service sends a green light to criminals looking to profit from illegal activities or those looking to cut corners and save money, that they can carry on with their activities without the risk of SEPA intervention."
Good day to you. My name's Philip and I'm reading from the Kirkintilloch Herald, the church news locally here in East Dunbartonshire. We go first of all to Cadder Parish Church, beside the canal. For full details, please see their website, caderchurch.org. We look forward to welcome you, they say, this coming Sunday to our morning service. The service will be led by our Probationer Minister, Chris Gordon. Music is led by Anne Cochrane. Cadder, kids and creche meet at the church at the start of the service and then go to the North Hall. All are welcome. Our church services are videoed and recorded and are available from the church website. Tea and coffee are served after the service. The food bank, if you wish to donate to the local food bank, you can bring your donations of food to the church or to the coffee shop. And then there's early fellowship, which meets in person in the South Hall Chapel at 9:30 a.m. on Tuesday and Thursday, and also on Zoom. Then there's Messy Play, meets on Tuesday and Thursdays in the South Hall from 10:30 till 11:30 a.m. And then, of course, there's the Cadder Street Party, Sunday, June the 9th, from 12 noon till 3:30 p.m. in the afternoon in the South Hall. Come and join the fun. Cadder Coffee Shop is open on a Tuesday to Thursday, 10 till 2 p.m. and a Friday, 10 a.m. to 12 noon. You'll be made very welcome. The next film night is on Friday, June the 14th in the North Hall at 7 p.m. for 7:30. The film is The Great Escaper, starring Michael Caine and Glenda Jackson. Tickets are priced at £5 and are available from the fellowship team, and you'll find them at church each Sunday. And then we move out to Milton or Campsie Parish Church. Cathy Connect is on a Tuesday morning. Time to Pray is on Wednesday evening at 7 p.m. Preparations are now being made for SU Camp at Gowan Bank during the first week of school holidays, and Go Mad, the kids outreach, beginning on July the 28th. Can you help with prayer, accommodation, finance, or be hands-on? Before that, there will be a Go Mad Extra Fruitorama, a kids' youth event on Sunday, June 9th from 1 till 3 p.m. Jot form for registration will be available shortly. Our Summer Sunday series is on early church. Next Sunday, we'll be reading about Philip visiting Samaria. That's not me, by the way, that's the biblical Philip, visiting Samaria to tell the people there about Jesus. Send us a pic of yourself, that's a photograph of yourself, going away to visit another town or city. Our BB, Boys Brigade, had its final meeting of the session last Friday. Thanks to all the boys and their leaders. Many presentations were made to the boys for their efforts during the year, and a special presentation was made to Jackie and Robert Scott, who are stepping down after 15 years of leadership of the Boys Brigade. And then we move across the town to Torrance Parish Church. The morning service at 10:30 a.m. is conducted by the Reverend Stuart Irvin. During the service, the youngsters meet together in creche. There's Junior Church and Frog, which I believe stands for Friends of God, the youth group. To join the service online, click torranceparishchurch.online.church. The cafe is open every Wednesday, 9 till 12 noon, for teas, coffee and delicious home baking. Why not come and taste for yourself? To find out about regular weekly activities, check out the website for the What's On at www.tpc.org.uk. And then we move to Kirkintilloch, to St David's Memorial Park Church. May the 20th was the 40th anniversary of St David's Memorial Park Church prayer chain. The current team of Heather Martin, Karen Gregory, Jackie Clark and Anne Selby planned an evening of celebration for participating members and guests. Heather welcomed those attending and were delighted that Jill and John Taylor in Somerset joined by Zoom. The Church Walk and Talk Group, June the 6th, Kirkintilloch Leisure Centre, June the 13th, Mertland Nature Park. So then, June the 20th, Donaldson Street, Christine's Way, June the 27th, and St Clumber's Church, 1:15 p.m. for transport to Broadwood Loch. Unless stated otherwise, the walk start at 1:30 p.m. on Thursday afternoons and last approximately 1 hour. And that's good to get out and go for a wee walk if you can. And then we move to St Clumber's Men's Club. They meet in the Kirkintilloch St Clumber's Church in Old Isle Road and it's not necessary to be a church member to join. The club, which has been in existence for many years, provides a chance for men to spend Monday evening in a very relaxed company and to participate in activities such as pool, snooker, carpet bowls, darts, table tennis and dominoes, or you can just simply sit and chat. Membership comes from various areas around Kirkintilloch, Lenzie, Cumbernauld, Bearsden, etc., and all the erks and perks in between. And back to Bishopbriggs, to St James Church, Hilton Road. The minister there is Paul Watson, and there is a communion service in the chapel on Thursday, June the 6th at 11 a.m. and on Sunday, June the 9th at 9 a.m. The 10:30 a.m. communion service with hymns on Sunday is in the church. Prior to this service, there will be prayers in the chapel at 10 a.m. to 10:15. This will be to commit the service to God and to pray for the needs of the community. Everyone is welcome. Do stay for tea, coffee and fellowship afterwards. On Tuesday, June the 11th at 1 p.m, there is a Tuesday Club lunch with a talk by Craig Campbell from Street Care. Do feel free to come along, £3 donations at the door, and you'll be made most welcome to join them. There will be also other groups and virtual services and groups, and for any information, refer to their social media: Facebook, St James the Less, Bishopbriggs, the website, stjamesbishopbriggs.org.uk. And then to Kirkintilloch, and the Church of God there, which is in Regent Hall, it's called, which is also in Regent Street. Their coffee corner is now closed for the summer break and will recommence on Wednesday, August the 21st. On Tuesday, there will be a Zoom service at 7:30 p.m. The speaker will be Roz Osborne. A warm invitation to everyone who's able to join us on Zoom. Access details for the stream can be obtained by emailing hello@regenthall.org. For up-to-date and further information on our services, visit www.regenthall.org. The Bible says, "But now in Christ, you were once far away, have been brought near by the blood of Christ." You find that in Ephesians 2. And then we stay in Kirkintilloch. We move to Home Church, which is in Lammermuir Road, Kirkintilloch. And they also have another home church, sister church in the East End in Carmyle. And the church is for all ages. You will show me the way of life, granting me the joy of your presence and the pleasures of living with you forever. And that's Psalm 16. And Sunday, June the 9th, 9:30 a.m. and 11:30 a.m. worship service followed by refreshments. A warm welcome awaits you at either service, which will be identical. Children's Sunday school at both services in creche, and also in Home Church in Carmyle at 10 a.m. and 6:30 p.m. Tuesdays, the engine room is at 9:30 for biblical teaching. And then there's a Bible study on Zoom at 2:30 p.m. Wednesdays, the prayer meeting at Carmyle is 10:15 a.m. Study groups now called Boiler Room in church at 7:15, except the last Wednesday in the month, which will be a prayer meeting. Thursdays, there's football. Fridays, there's craft and coffee, 10 a.m. to noon. And youth group meet at 7:30 p.m. on a Friday night. And there's a prayer meeting, except the last Friday in the month. Don't forget that. And also home radio is available every day, 24/7. If you tune into Home Radio Scotland, and you'll hear the various presenters presenting different shows, some with music, some with more music, and some with Bible study, and some just sharing thoughts. And if you tune in on a Monday night between 8 and 9, you'll hear my dulcet tones as I share about what God is doing across the world. So there you have it. Home Church. For all the information, check out Home Church in Carmyle and Kirkintilloch. And then we move to St Mary's Parish Church. The service on Sunday, June the 9th, will begin at 11 a.m. as usual and will be taken by the Reverend Ruth Morrison. There will be age-related activities for our young people in the halls during the service. Wednesday, as a welcome continues on Wednesday, June the 5th, when tea, coffee and home baking will be available from 10 a.m. until 11:30 a.m. This will be followed by a short service taken by the Reverend Ruth Morrison on Wednesday, June the 5th, We will also be holding our monthly Open Doors event. The church will be open from 10 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. Tea, coffee and biscuits will be available during this time. From 12:30 until 1 p.m. there will be an organ recital consisting of a selection of jazzy hymns, and they will also be played for us by the Sally McLennan or McClellan. Tea and coffee will be provided for you, and you're very welcome to bring your own lunch if you wish to eat during the recital. And then we move to Bishopbriggs again, to Kenmure Parish Church. We extend a warm welcome to everyone attending our church services, in person or online or on their YouTube channel. This Sunday, our morning service at 11 a.m. will be led by Alison and Bruce Keith. The service on YouTube can be watched live as it happens or later at a time that suits you. You can find our channel by simply searching for Kenmure Bishopbriggs on YouTube. Teas and coffees and a time of fellowship follows the end of the church service. The most up-to-date details of all our groups that are currently running may be found on the WhatsApp section of our website, kenmure-church.co.uk. To find us on Facebook, just search for Kenmure Parish Church. And if you'd like to join our WhatsApp group or receive the Bible studies from the ABC, then email kenmurechurch@icloud.com. Staying in Bishopbriggs, we have Springfield Cambridge Church. Morning worship will be on Sunday, June the 9th, and will be conducted by our minister, Ian Taylor, in the sanctuary at 11 a.m. An offering will be taken during the service. Please place your offering in the offering plates as they are passed around the congregation. Tea and coffee will be served in the Cameron Hall after the morning worship. Come and enjoy the fellowship. The Sunday school meets in room 2, where creche facilities are also available. Morning worship is also being live streamed on the Springfield Cambridge Church YouTube channel. A link to this can be found on the Springfield Cambridge Church website, springfieldcambridge.org.uk, and Facebook page, where up-to-date information about events and church organisations can also be found. There will be a vestry hour on Wednesday, June the 4th, from 10 a.m. till 11 a.m. for anyone who would like to speak with the minister. There will be a short weekly service of worship in the Springfield Chapel on Wednesday, June the 5th, from 11:10 to 11:30, followed by tea and fellowship and coffee in the Fellowship Hall. On Friday, June the 7th, the City of Glasgow Wind Orchestra will hold their summer church concert in the church at 7:30 p.m. Tickets for adults are £12 and concessions are £8. Children under 12 free on Sunday, June the 9th. The Sunday school are providing rolls on sausage, tea and coffee after the service in the Cameron Hall. The annual Halls letting meeting will be held on Monday, June the 10th at 7 p.m. in the Cambridge Chapel. The Guild is inviting the congregation to join them in supporting the Eastern Battenshire Food Bank warehouse by bringing donations and leaving them in the cupboard in the cloakroom. A list is attached to the cupboard identifying specific items specifically requested. And then we move to Lenzie. Lenzie Union Parish Church, a Sunday service is at 11 a.m. A creche is provided for babies and toddlers. Young people are also welcome to the Lighthouse and Bible class groups. A live stream of the service is available on YouTube via their website. And then they have the Youth Cafe on Thursdays between 3:45 to 5 p.m. A place where young people can hang out, relax and have a good time after a long day at school. Each week there is a free snack with lots of things to do, such as games, consoles, table tennis, arts and crafts, board games and more. The coffee pot is open from Friday, June the 14th at 10 a.m. till noon in the new hall for teas, coffee and chat. This is the last one this session and we wish all our customers an enjoyable summer. Silver Movers is on Monday, June the 17th at 1:30 in the Old Hall. A little light exercise and a lot of laughing. All you need is comfortable clothes and some water. And then last but not least, Lenzie Old Parish Church. Sunday service at 11 a.m. is led by Julie Harty. A creche is available for children under 3. The Quilt and Craft Group meet every Wednesday 10 till 12 noon in the session room. Come and sing event is on Tuesdays, June 11th at 1:15 till 2:45. The dementia-friendly singing group meets in the church hall. A warm welcome awaits all, and of course a cuppa with some delicious home baking. Please feel free to come and sing. And that's what the event's called, Come and Sing. Thursday Club is on June 20, 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. in the church hall. Teas, coffees and games, knit and chat. So there you have it. That's all the church news for Eastern Bartonshire and the Kirkintilloch area specifically. And and if you're looking for a night out, then there's a praise gathering choir of 400 singers are going to be performing at the Royal Concert Hall in Glasgow at 2 p.m. on Saturday, June the 22nd, and then at 7 p.m. on Sunday the 23rd. And if you're interested, check out the website of Praise Gathering or go on to the Glasgow Royal Concert Hall website and book your tickets. It's going to be a fabulous night. I know because I'm part of it and love singing with 400 others from 190 churches across Scotland, from Glasgow, Edinburgh and Dundee. So there you have it. That's the church news for this week. Hopefully you'll pop out to a church if you can make it this week or at the weekend. And if you have any news or views on the church news, then please contact Q and Review. We'd love to hear from you to get your feedback. And I would love to hear from you as well. And to know that you've been to a church or been to a coffee morning, etc. Thank you for staying with us. God bless you.
Kirkintilloch and Bishopbriggs Herald District News General, date Wednesday, June the 5th. Young Carers Week, June the 8th to 16th. It's Carers Week, June 8th to 16th, and Carers Link is urging young and adult carers to ask for help. Carers Link is local and dedicated to providing a range of support services to young and adult carers of all ages who live or care within the Eastern Bartonshire area. Working closely with Eastern Bartonshire schools, the charity offers invaluable help to young carers aged from 8 to 25. Carers Link is running a coffee morning for carers during Carers Week 2024, Monday, June the 10th, from 10:30am to 12:30pm, coffee morning in the Broadcroft Hotel. For more information on attending a coffee morning, go to carersLink.org.uk/latest-events or call 0800 975 2131. Holyrood View, Acting in Scotland's Best Interests by Rona Mackay MSP. The SNP Scottish Government is demonstrating every day that the best decisions for my constituents are those made in Scotland for Scotland. New figures released this week show £829 million in financial support has been provided through Social Security Scotland's family payments. These include Scottish Government's Scottish Child Payment, which supports over 329,000 children with over £677 million paid since it was launched 3 years ago. This payment has been vital to help my constituents facing hardship to buy healthy food for their children. With the SNP Scottish Government's approach rooted in dignity, fairness and respect, we are making important progress towards the First Minister's goal of eradicating child poverty. I was also delighted to hear that almost 14,000 young people in my constituency and across Eastern Bartonshire have signed up for free bus travel, implemented by the SNP Scottish Government. Scotland is the only country in the UK to offer this service for all those under the age of 22. Everyone aged 16 and over also benefit, as well as eligible disabled people. It's been another busy month in my constituency. It was great to meet the volunteers at a new hub at Lennoxtown run by the community for the community. The Hive aims to deliver a range of local services for local people, and I wish them every success. To help, email thehivecommunity22@gmail.com. That's THEHIVECommunity22@gmail.com. I was also delighted to put forward a motion at the Scottish Parliament commending the efforts of inspirational breast cancer survivor Julie Moody, Milton of Campsie Parish Church Minister, who, supported by her children Josiah, 11, and Esther, 9, raised more than £2,000 for cancer charities after they took part in a swimathon at the pool at Kirkintilloch, and who, of a certain age, can forget fabulous Milton of Campsie actress Gudrun Ure in her role as Supergran in the hit ITV series of the 1980s. Gudrun passed away last month at the age of 98, and the motion I put forward in celebration of her life gained extensive cross-party support from my colleagues, all eager to pay tribute to the grand old lady. If you need any assistance, please contact my team at 0141 776 1561 or email rona.mackay.msp@parliament.scot. That's rona.mackay.msp @parliament.scot. Blankets are off to Ethiopia. Members of the Inner Wheel Club of Kirkintilloch have knitted blankets for Hamlin Fistula Hospital in Ethiopia for over 25 years. The project was initially started by the late Leslie Broadhead. The blankets are given to women arriving at the hospital to give them comfort prior to the surgery, then allowed to take them home. The ladies of St Mary's Church Craft Group, Kirkintilloch, made it their project for the year, and the blankets will be sent along with those donated by Inner Wheel to Ethiopia. The Inner Wheel Club of Kirkintilloch meet in the Lenzie Golf Club on the second Tuesday of each month from September to June. Contact iwsecretary.d23@gmail.com. That's iwsecretary.d23@gmail.com.
Megan is ready to step up a level. This article has been written by Brian Newell and is being read by me, Corey. Megan Whiteford is looking forward to testing herself at a higher level after her 20 goals helped fire Rossville Women to the championship title. After last season's disappointment of missing out on the promotion via the playoffs, the side regrouped, also lifting the SWF Championship and League One Cup. Whiteford told the SM Media Scottish Women's Football Show, "Last season just kind of happened for us, whereas this season we went into it knowing what we could do. We had a great squad to begin with, but brought in more players, and as a team we've all been on the same page about what we want to achieve. Morale has been really good as well, so that definitely helped us to get success. Last season was my first season in football for a few years, and I was kind of finding my feet. This season I've been playing as the 10 more, and for me personally the consistency with that helped me, while all the coaches and the girls always spur me on. The coaching staff are so positive, they care about us as people as well as players, and even when things aren't really going our way, they'll try their best to look at the positives first, always, before we look at anything else, so I think that definitely helps us as a team. The likes of Montrose and Livingston have thrived since moving up to the SWPL2, with the former now playing in the top tier. And Whiteford believes there is no reason Rossville can't do likewise." She added, "I'm really looking forward to it. I think for me personally, I'm always wanting to do better and wanting to do more. I think this is a good challenge for us, and I don't see it as one that we can't take on and be successful." Whiteford's form this season saw her nominated for the Players' Player of the Season award in the Championship alongside teammate Gemma McQuillan, while Mel Porter of Rossvale Development and Christine Thompson of West Park United were shortlisted in the SWFL West. That article was written by Brian Yule and it was read by me, Corey. Lenzie YC win league title with games to spare. This article is unattributed, but it's being read by me, Corey. Lenzie YC clinched the Scottish Premier AFA 19s Championship with 3 games to spare. A 4-2 win at home to St Cannocks was enough to seal the title, as it gave Lenzie an unassailable lead over second-placed East Kilbride Borough United. Lenzie only lost 2 games all season, on their way to being presented with the silverware following last week's 3-1 win over St Patrick's. The team were not only deadly in attack, having scored over 100 goals so far, but were also solid at the back, conceding more than 20 less than the next best defence in the league. The squad is made up of boys from Lenzie, Kirkintilloch and Cumbernauld, 10 of whom have been with the team since 2010. 3 of them, Callum Henney, Scott Mason, Greg Duncan, who all started when they were 5 years old, have been selected for the Scottish Premier Amateur Select team. That article was unattributed, but it was read by me, Corey. Oscarson leaves City to head back home. This article is unattributed, but it's being read by me, Corey. Swedish defender Anna Oscarson has left Glasgow City to join Damal Svenskan side AIK in her homeland. The 27-year-old made a total of 49 appearances for the club since arriving last January from Eskilstuna United. During her time at Petershill Park, the Swedish international would lift the SWPL1 title and also experience Champions League football. Oscarson said, "It has been a privilege to play for Glasgow City. Every game I have felt proud to represent a club that has such high standards, both on and off the pitch. A club where every single person strives to get better every day, and a club with values that are in line with my own. From the day I joined Glasgow City, I felt so welcomed by everyone in and around the club, and quickly felt that I had found a home away from home. The togetherness in this team really is something unique, and something I'll always be grateful for being a part of. I've found friends for life, and I feel like I leave the club both as a better football player and a better person. Thank you for all the memories, I'll cherish them forever." City head coach Leanne Ross added, "Arriving at City as one of my first permanent signings, Anna has gone on to deliver on every expectation I had of her, both on and off the pitch. Her experience, professionalism and ability on the pitch played a huge role in our title win, whilst her positive, caring and considerate personality have been a key asset to the team environment." That article was unattributed, but it was read by me, Corey. Tigers got too many last places, says boss. This article was written by Phil Lanning and is being read by me, Corey. Glasgow Tigers team boss Cammy Brown admitted too many lost places cost his side against Edinburgh Monarchs on Friday. Tigers went down 50-39 at Armadale and failed to equalise for the semi-finals of the BSN series. After a bright start, it all went wrong, and 5 firsts for the home side in the heats 3 and 5 put them in control of the contest, and they never looked likely to relinquish it. Brown said, "If you look at before Heat 13, we had won 7 heats to Edinburgh's 5. but we were miles behind because we had far too many last places. That's the story of the meeting. Going into Heat 15, we had won 7 heats each, and that's the problem. We had 10 last places, and they had 2 5-1s. It's just not good enough. There were tiny bits of positivity. Leon Flint, in his last few races, looked like the rider we'd hoped we'd get at the start of the season. Paul Starkey got excluded in Heat 1, and it was a dreadful decision. He never touched Lasse Fredriksson, and Lasse admitted that as well. Paul finished with 6 from 4 and 2 good Heat wins. He looked a lot faster on his new engine. Chris Harris blew an engine to bits. Steve Worrell was hot and cold, and James Pearson had a difficult night. Up until tonight, James has been excellent, so I can't be too harsh on him. Tigers then headed to Redcar on Saturday in the championship, bidding to find some form, but would go down 50-40 at the ECCO arena. In a topsy-turvy encounter with 7 maximum heat wins in total, the home side were in control from the halfway mark. Tigers did fight back with 3 late 5-1s, but by then the result was already in the bag for the home side. Tigers also lost Pearson with leg and hip injuries after 2 nasty crashes. Brown said, "Like the previous night, there were only a couple of positives. Jack Smith rode well, while Leon Flint is almost getting there, I think. Chris Harris was back to his best and was actually frustrated not to score more. He was disappointed to drop points, and I want the boys to be that way. But that's about it, I'm afraid. The rest of the boys need to up their game." That article was written by Phil Lanning and was read by me, Corey.
That concludes this week's edition of the Kirkintilloch Herald podcast. Please remember to subscribe to our channels at Tune Review and to tell your friends about our service.